afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gamester TV. At last, we are going to be able to bring you a game. It is absolutely so exciting. I am beside myself just about being able to cast this. My name is Chrisis, and I'm joined in the studio by the very patient Lonjanis. G'day, Lonjanis.
How's it going?
Yeah. Pretty good. Very, very happy. So we're going to jump straight into Champ Select for this match, ladies and gentlemen. And it is going to be the quarterfinals match between Winx Club and Halal Snackpack. And a quick apology about the overlay. I discovered at the last minute that there's a weird offset going on with my overlay, and so I've had to turn it off. So that's why it's looking very sparse at the moment. We've got Winx Club on the blue side, I believe, with Halal on the red side. So Lonjanis, if you want to just take us through the bans, I'm going to jump into the server admin and just confirm that I have the teams on the right on the
All
right
right,
side.
no problems. I'll do that. I actually really like this pick man phase so far. It's been very meta in that neither team, I suspect neither team knows each other particularly well, so they're just banning things that are strong, they're afraid of. The early Poppy pick, very powerful. She's so counter to so many things. She can top, she can support. She's actually really, really cool in that regard. I'm less excited about the Fizz that Chaz It Up has just locked in, but Fizz Gragas is not a bad rotation to take for your first two. Again, I don't know if I prioritize the Fizz quite so highly, but again, he's also a flex pick because he can run him top or mid, so that don't give too much away.
What I like is that you can see what they're actually picking, and I cannot. So my League of Legends client is showing what the bans are, but you just said, yeah, I can see them like going live, but I don't know if I've got something covering it or something. It's the most bizarre thing.
I told you this morning. I was like, I feel it. This is the Kibosh, the Fubar, like Siva Braum, very good picks. I like it a lot. Again, everything. This is a super meta, super meta champ select so far. Both of these teams are just playing things that are really strong right now. And I mean, can you fault them? I guess you're just gonna have to take my word on it. Apparently,
I am actually, because I mean, literally, you can see the client like doing like a flashy thing that updates itself, and you can see who's picking, but you can't see who they're actually picking. So for those of you who are watching the stream, you're only going to be able to see the who Lonjanis is going to be, who he will have been talking about when we actually go into the loading screen. And hopefully from that point onwards, Lon will be properly updating. So that's the.
I'm sure you'll be able to see the. Yeah, go on.
No, I'm just going to say it's the weirdest client bug I've ever experienced, and I guess it's the story of the day, as you pointed out.
Yep. I feel like if you can't, once we get out of champ select, if you can still not see the champions, there's something very wrong. All right, so they have actually purple side. Who I'm so sorry. Which one's purple side?
So purple side is Halal Snackpack.
All right, Halal Snackpack actually locking in the Karma Lucian. Looks like that'll probably be the bot lane. You know what? I'm just going to run it from the top. So on the blue team, we have Unwish on Poppy. Feed like MSG currently has. I don't know what trades are going to happen and whatnot, but you know we've got the Siva, Braum, Nidalee, Cassin. Cassin's a really interesting pick. He may also actually be a top laner. We just don't know anymore. I want to see if he's going to go that like sort of interesting Bruiser Cassin or a more classic caster Cassin. I haven't seen a lot of Cassin in the current meta, but the fact of the matter is Maokai's banned, Trundle's banned, Echo's banned, Aziri's banned. So Cassin is they've kind of like cleared a path for him a little bit in that sense that he actually could be a bit of a viable pick, but I will have to see how it goes. I haven't seen Cassin Cassin hasn't been a priority this season so far. All right, on the purple side from the top, Fizz, Gragas, Zed, French import on the Lucian. And if that's not Striker Lucian with a name like French import, I'm going to be so let down. You've got no idea. And Karma in support.
So Karma, of course, is a bit of flavor of the month these days.
She's got a lot of pop. She hurts in lane. The comparatively comparable to most supports, the low cooldown on their abilities, like a Q early, means a lot of damage. The fact that she doesn't need to level up an ult gives her a lot of strength in lane, and she's just great utility. Can keep your AD carry out of trouble. Can mess people up. I like the pick a lot. I'm really interested to see how this Cassidy and Zed matchup goes mid. It is top Fizz and it was top Poppy, by the way. I'm really interested to see how this assassin versus assassin matchup goes. AP versus AD. I'm sorry, I'm still just laughing because you guys can't actually see the champions, and I could all just be making this up.
I know it says spectating will begin shortly. We got 3 minutes to go while we're looking at blank.
You still can't see anything.
No, we can only see the bands. And in fact, it doesn't even show. Well, I suppose in the mid section, where it shows all of the champions, you might think that maybe it would highlight them or something like that, but it doesn't actually. So, we are looking at a list of bands and a list of blank screens. You can have a look at the stream itself on Twitch, and a big shout out to CanMop, who's saying quality stream. I'll just point out to you, mate, it's not the stream that has the issue. It's the actual League of Legends client itself. So it would certainly look a lot better if you could see champions. So we apologize. I'm not trying to throw right under the bus. Well, actually, I suppose I am, Lon. But
hey, it's their game. Get it together, guys. It's been out since 2010. Beta since 2009. Come on. Spectate since 2011.
I might just switch on over to the title page because you can't actually see much information anyway. So we'll just shoot the breeze for a minute and a half.
I'm extremely disappointed that I didn't just take this opportunity to just be like, oh my god, the Shaco Ramus Rengar comp, and they've locked in Vayne support. I definitely let this one slip through my fingers. And I'm very disappointed about that.
Well, hopefully by the time we get to the semi-final rounds, we'll be able to have a problem-free stream. So we'll see if that actually eventuates. But for now, we got a minute to go. So if you've got a stopwatch, get your stopwatch going. We have a minute to go, and then we will be bringing you the match between Winx Club and Halal Snackpack. And of course, Lon, this is pretty much Murphy's Law because we were getting told by the admins, hey, just use lolspectator.tv and join off one of the players after their matches started. And we were saying to them, no. Champ Select is integral to the way that a match goes. Yeah. And we have been undone.
Yep, we have. It's ridiculous, but look, you guys are just going to take my word for it for another couple seconds. Super meta picks. We've got, Sivir pretty much automatically turns any comp into a team fighting comp. The Sivir Braum is a lot of fun. They can do some cool stuff in lane, particularly how Sivir can auto attack reset to get the double stacks of Braum, of the Braum passive. But they have a Cassidy. I just don't know how to feel about it. Maybe this guy's a crazy Cassidy main. Hey, here comes the load in, I think.
That'll be very, very, very exciting if we actually get something. We've got the little circle at the moment as we look to get it loaded.
Also very important in this matchup is the jungler. In this game is the jungler matchup. Nidalee versus Gragas. They both bring some really, really different things to the field. Both have excellent clear speeds, though Nidalee probably a little faster, but they did just hit her with a couple of damage nerfs basically across the board. So that will slow her down a bit. But look for Nidalee to try and pressure the map. Try to basically the general premise with Nidalee is you try to get a farm advantage with your ridiculous clear speed and then pressure the map because you're always, 15, 20 seconds ahead of the opposing jungler. But Gragas also excellent clear with the AoE. Really, really strong ganks from both of them. I don't know who's going to win this game. I don't think the Cassidy was a good pick.
Cassidy into Zeds. Yeah, I kind of, when you mentioned that, I thought...
Zed was picked afterwards, primarily as a counter pick.
Counter, yeah.
But even then, Zed has been seeing a bit of play lately. He feels a lot stronger at the moment. Cassidy, he takes too long to get going in the current game. The way the game works right now, with your advantages to taking towers, when you have towers and you have level advantages and things like that, the advantages to pushing that you get when you have XP advantages on the other team. I should stop saying advantages. The buffs you get to pushing when you have advantages on the other team. Now, I do feel it's really important, Chrisis, as the analyst, that I point out, we do actually have 2 project skins in the game, which means we're going to get treated to the fancy robot minions.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
so
exciting stuff.
I have got everybody at 100% loading, and I'm not in the game. So, there you go.
Yeah, here we go.
Murphy's Law. That's fantastic. I'm actually in the game. It's very exciting, and I can see all of the champions and all of the champions' names. It's awesome. Well, thanks for bearing with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the game. We'll get some game sounds going. And we will be into Winx versus Halal Snackpack in our first broadcast of the day. But of course, it is round of 3. This is the quarterfinals match that is getting played here at the Antigrav Gaming Network's Open League of Legends tournament. And of course, it's the first League of Legends tournament, and we're expecting to see a lot more of them. If you are unfamiliar with AGGN, you should know that they run regular ODCs. That we did an ODC for them about a month ago, CSGO. That time and this time, it's League of Legends. So, AGGN doing a great job supporting esports in the local scene, run out of Adelaide, of all places.
Adelaide?
Yeah.
That's like the nation's anti-video gaming capital. The city of churches is what they call it. All right. Now, I just want to say also, it is their first League of Legends tournament. We'll forgive them a couple little problems, especially if you guys will forgive us our couple little problems along the way to getting to this point. Both teams going for what's pretty much a standard, just, line defense, warding the river. No one wants to take that chance because the game is so snowbally, in this season. I forgot the season from over there. It's season 6. That's crazy, by the way. The directed camera is showing me Cassidy farming. Level 1 is not going to be that. Level 1's not going to be that exciting in the mid lane, unfortunately, as they're both melee matchups. Zed getting a little bit harassed down with the shuriken, getting an early advantage on the minions, which we'll see if he maintains that 2 minion lead.
Kuyomi in the mid lane there. So we had a little bit of a watch of the trades there, and early on, just an edge of an advantage to the Zed, which is exactly what we expect. Up in the top lane, we've got Chazzadup versus Unwish on the Fizz going up against the Poppy. And I wonder how things are going to work, whether Chazzadup is going to be able to get his Playful Trickster in to prevent himself getting CC to death.
Well, he's going to have problems with that, I think. Actually, I need to see how it interacts with Poppy's field, because she prevents dashes at the moment with her W ever since the rework. And I just want to say, actually, it's kind of hilarious that in a rare twist of fate, it's actually the top lane that is likely to be the most exciting lane early, which is traditionally very much not the case.
Yes, their own little farming area. Usually he has an engage that's going on. Chazzadup gets smacked into the wall. Gonna have to pay attention to his positioning a little bit more to prevent those sorts of things coming through. And he didn't play for Trickster at all during their
I don't think he has it.
Yeah, he actually had to dash away to a minion. So Unwish coming off ahead out of that little trade. Down in the bottom lane, French Import. I guess he's disappointed you, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's still a great skin, though. I can't be too upset. Just, as a fan of Arsenal, the football team, I know all about disappointing French imports, but I won't go into that. And I just mean his skin. I haven't badmouthed the guy's play just yet. I just actually want to touch back on Poppy again while things are, quiet. She's so, her W is going to be such a huge, huge part of this game. I mean, Fizz has a dash. Gragas has a dash. Lucian has a dash. She can shut down all of those things, and she's going to be able to protect the backline of the, Sivir, and pretty much just Sivir, and until they decide to strike Nidalee Cassidy with that extremely well. They're going to be super difficult to get onto.
Well, Unwished has been doing well in lane so far, so we can be pretty confident that he's happy with his mechanical use. That said, he's just coming off a little bit second best there to Chaz It Up's engage in that top lane. As what's happening down in the bottom lane? First, the mid lane. First blood going to Tsukuyomi. He takes a turret hit as he exits from the engage, but gets away nice and scot-free with a nice little pool of gold to go and spend. Meanwhile, in the jungle, we've got the Graggy doing a little bit of an invade, getting just one ward down there to try and spot out feed like MSG. And we'll see whether that actually comes into play. It's all happening, though, Lon, because down in the bottom lane, we have another engage. And in terms of how the trades have been going, French Import and IOSYS have been winning out all the way their health bars at 100% in comparison to their opponents, who are taking a bit of damage.
And it's winning those trades is a big part of what's allowing French Import to develop this quite massive CS lead at the moment, actually. Nang Myong is not having a very fun time right now. 24 CS at 5 minutes. Not the worst CS I've ever seen, of course, but he must feel pretty outgunned right now against French Import. Like, this is going to be a rough laning phase when the dude is almost 20 CS ahead of you at like 6 minutes.
And I guess if you look at the lane matchups, that's almost to be expected because of the range advantage. It's kind of like a tall boxer versus a short boxer. In this lane, we've got short range Sivir, not the best in terms of range, in terms of the ADCs, with a melee support going up against Lucian, who's arguably one of the longest range ADCs if you discount late level Tristana, I guess.
Yeah, no, Lucian's got good effective range. His actual auto range isn't like gigantic, but with the Q and with the double shot and the dash on top of the Karma support, speeding him up, laying down fields, poking, exactly. His effective range is much, much greater than Sivir's. Now, we'll see how things go once Sivir picks up her first item, which will probably be the Essence Reaver. But absolutely no respect in the bot lane, by the way. French Import literally just dashed right up to it, went into melee range with Brom, and was just like, nah, I'm good.
I'll smack you in the face no matter what. So just we haven't paid a huge amount of attention to the junglers. Really, both of them concentrating on their farming. But Lon, I think the key difference is Jin XV, not to be confused with the new ADC, not ADC, the new AD champion. He's invaded a couple of times just to get some warding down. So working on vision and maintaining an awareness of where the Nidalee is. And I think the thing that surprises me, Lon, is Nidalee hasn't ganked yet.
1 sec.
Another engage in the mid lane. This time Daisu's getting away, just manages to survive the last damage from the mark there, but has been bullied out of the lane. But Tsukuyomi also bullied out of the lane. Well,
by himself and the tower. Yeah, no. The story really is for the jungle is about the two things actually: ward control, which up until this point right now, feed like MSG has been getting just completely dominated in terms of vision, and somehow the Gragas, while keeping up on the vision, has also managed to keep up in farm against Nidalee, which I did say she was nerfed, but that's not easy. So I think that's really, really fascinating, and I think as the game progresses into mid game, that's going to be a really big factor that Nidalee hasn't been able to create as much pressure as you usually see, or even really contest the vision as strongly.
Down in the bottom lane, Stella on the Braum gets a rare unanswered hit with his Winter's Bite onto IOSYS as they met in the river, trying to keep up their own warding duties down in the bot lane. But very, very rare. We've had French Import do his little blue pill and come back with the BF sword. And he's going to be looking at dominating even further. But Sivir has picked up a BF sword as well. So not quite maintaining parity because there's an extra long sword on the side of the Lucian. But I guess all things considered, not so bad. Oh, missed the top lane action. Let's hit the backspace and head on back there as Chaz It Up goes onto Unwish. They pop both of the ultis, and then
He dodges the ult though.
they kind of walk along. Very good. Oh, the flash comes through, double flash, and Chaz It Up gets the final dash through and takes down the Poppy. So that matchup going the way of Chaz It Up at this stage.
Excellent patience by Chaz It Up, holding the playful Trickster until he saw the hammer start to spin from Poppy, knowing that she was trying to ult him at that point. Really good timing in terms of just saving it until she tried to hit him with the Keeper's Verdict, and he just dodges it. Really, just just a couple steps ahead.
And in the meantime, Poppy was effective bait for the Chumming of the Waters, ate all of that damage, and would have been lucky to get away, I guess, had he gotten away if the flash wasn't up for the fizz.
Indeed. Did you... okay, there was a bit of a skirmish.
I didn't go back to live. And we've got...
that's it, yeah.
So the Rift Herald's been taken, but at what cost? We've got a double kill going down for the blue team. So they are right back in terms of parity with the kill stats. In terms of advantages, though, the gold's still sitting with the red team.
That's right, exactly. Although, in terms of actual gold on the top laners, I think you will find that Poppy has more, which is kind of funny considering he just died. But the greatest CS and the assists are gonna add up. Like that 20 CS there, or 12 CS at this point. It really actually does make a big difference in this particular matchup, because if Poppy can get enough of a lead, even just a little bit of one, and she's going the classic meta golem build right now with the Balmy Cinder, which, by the way, I love the fact that Poppy's picked it up and is just sitting on it. You don't need to upgrade to Sunfire Cave straight away. Oh, action bot lane. Well, not bot lane, bot river.
Is there much? So I didn't go back to live, hey? So after I hit the backspace.
All right, fair enough. Well,
there's a flash that comes through from IOSYS. He tries to get the root down onto the Nidalee, but it doesn't quite succeed in doing so. I'm on 11, 26, 27, 28.
Okay, I'll wait for you. Tell me when you're at 11:45.
All right. Well, you could just hit the backspace and you'd probably be right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So 11, 37, 38, 39, and 40 now. Doesn't have to be exact. I have to be exact
it's like
because of the stream.
Yeah, you have to be exact. That's right. It's not a big deal. All right, that's okay. I can talk about stuff after the fact. It's all right. Speaking of things after the fact, the Rod of Ages coming in real early for Dalsu, which is really good for the Cassid, and he's going to need that survivability. But Zed picking up the early Hex Drinker, which I don't know if he's going to upgrade that straight away. I think he might sit on it. But I think that was a really good purchase.
Well, already coming in useful. You could see it proc there just to... Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't what procced, because it only happens when you get really low down. So French import down in the bottom lane. Let's move away. Oh, the flash coming out from Nang. And in comes French import with his own flash, but Nang manages to get away thanks to Stella, who arrives in the nick of time and gets the stand behind me going. French import will be very disappointed that he didn't get that. In the mid lane, we've got a bit of argy-bargy going on, a bit of how's your father, Jinx picking up an arrow, a javelin to the face there, and proccing the Lucians as well. In the mid lane, we've got Tsukuyomi going for a dive in there. He hits a tank. The Mark's going to take him down, and in fact, the Mark's not needed because his all-class takes him down with a shuriken from his shadow.
He actually survived the Mark. He had to land that shuriken.
Oh, right. So, okay, well, I completely missed that. Good game.
It's crazy. I was trying to stop myself from just screaming over you when that happened.
You should have done.
You're right. Oh!
Unwish gets another earth up the backside, and he's not down just yet. Chaz It Up has to play for Trickster. There's the flash, a double flash, and Chaz It Up takes him down, but the reply kill on the exit goes to the Poppy anyway. So 4-3 right now in kills. We might see a turret go down here in the top lane. No feed, like MSG arrives to defend it from the Gragas, who is at full health and sitting quite pretty at the moment. I think he's just going to push the lane though, Lon. Probably won't get much damage going down onto that turret.
I think it's kind of strangely appropriate that it was the junglers pushing and countering each other's push. I know that's not exactly like
I know, it's been a
quality analysis.
pretty
It's
big
just
farm fest.
yeah, this game has been interesting, but yeah, the junglers have been rather passive. A couple of counter ganks coming in, I guess, and you know everyone showed up mid lane just before, but it's certainly not what I would expect from high pressure junglers like Gragas, like Nidalee, who both have gone the runic the runic echoes. I nearly called it Runeglaive again. The runic echoes, which I like a lot, but I look to see Gragas probably go pretty tanky from here. I would imagine, unless he just completely just no respect for the blue team.
So, well, we'll see if he does that. Tsukuyomi's picked up the blue buff, gets back into lane, farms under the turrets. Very, very quiet game overall, Lon, in fact. So we've had 7 kills that have gone down by the 15-minute mark. The gold lead still sitting at about 1,000 gold in the advantage of the red team, the Halal Snackpack. But just in terms of the macro of the map, all the turrets up. Everybody continues to just keep the farming, the laning phase going.
I will say one thing though, Halal Snackpack, a lot more wards. Even just sitting in their inventory right now, you can see 2 pink wards, one on the support, one on the jungler. They've been very, very active with warding around the dragon, warding the rivers. It's
Top
it's
lane,
all
we've got
on.
the engage going through. Once again, the little tete-a-tete going on. Unwish versus Chaz it up, and Unwish comes off probably second best there, but Poppy is deceiving in terms of low HP bars because I assume her passive is still there.
It's actually different now.
Oh, no.
But she gets a ton of MR and armor from naturally from her W and things like that. So, and she gets a shield and whatnot when she can throw a little buckler, and if she picks it up, she gets a shield. But yeah, it's you're still right. She's still really, really deceptively hard to kill, but not for the same reason.
So partially right, but not because I'm actually that intelligent about things.
Oh, come on, you weren't even supposed to be casting today, pretty much. Like,
I know, it's like that movie Clerks. I should be saying, I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
You're like, man, I don't play this game anymore.
French import having to head on back after bullying the bottom lane out of Winx Club. He heads on back, uses his ulti to clean up the minions underneath his own turret, which is not something that I've seen in a while, shooting backwards to clear things up. In the middle lane, Dalsu once again eats a mark, gets away with his life there, and Feed Like MSG has arrived. He's getting the red buff procs onto Tsukuyomi, and with 3 little plinks into the backside, and the burn of the red buff takes him down, evens up the kill scores, and claws back a little bit of the gold deficit, gives Dalsu a bit of relief in that mid lane.
It's an awful feeling when you're getting just walked down by the Nidalee like that, and you're out of energy on the Zed, or your abilities on cooldown, and just the red buffs are just ticking over. It's just doesn't feel good.
Janex V now trying to clear a ward. Feed Like MSG doesn't want him to do it, but the side effect of that little engage that went on is Feed Like MSG was focusing so much on his opponent, he went through a brush with a pink ward and didn't notice it, so he hasn't cleared it up. In the top lane, we've got the usual exchange going on. Unwish waits for Chaz Up's Playful Trickster to finish. Doesn't look like he's finished just yet. No, he decides, well, okay, I'll just go back to farming my minions. In the bottom lane, though, quick update. Not much going on.
And you can see, ever since Poppy completed that Spirit Visage, it's just really difficult for Fizz to do damage to her. On top of that, she's got the Mastery Grasp of the Undying, which heals her for 4% of her max life, or steals 4% of her max life every 4 seconds in combat when she autos. You can see the the green coming from the other champion. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of slightly for your benefit, Chrisis. Because again, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the way the game works at the moment.
Hey, while you were schooling me just there, Chazzadup went up against the Poppy again and was coming off second best and actually re-engaged. And I was thinking, why on earth do that? And it was because he was just baiting the Poppy. GGN arrived to take down or help him finish off the Poppy. And they've got some good damage onto their onto that top turret before. Great defensive play there from the Nidalee. Has driven them away from that turret. But it's on a smidgen, Lon, that turret, about 1/6 of its HP, so it's going to go down pretty soon.
I'd imagine so.
Bottom lane 2, we've had the blue team driven out of the lane once again. And there's our first turret that goes down. Took almost 20 minutes, Lon. Could we say that the laning phase is over, or is it going to still last a bit longer?
Look, the laning phase is probably over if, I'm so sorry, I can never remember the name of the blue team.
Winx Club.
Winx Club. I'm so sorry, Winx Club. I love you. Don't hold it against me. They're going to hold it against me. Anyway, right, unless Winx Club are kind of just content to slowly lose the game, they're going to need to make this into they're going to need to turn this into a team fight game, or they're going to have to just start taking towers left and right. I think they're going to go with the team fight route, considering they're running Sivir and Braum, but they can't keep playing laning phase style, though. They'll just get choked out at that point. They'll just get slowly worn down.
Top lane again, Chazzadup being very, very brave, I think, going on to Unwished, and has to use his ulti to get himself some space to get away. So I think the balance of power is firmly swayed in the direction of the Poppy, and Unwished has done well to survive in the way that he has so far. But I think he's going to be sitting pretty up there for the rest of the game, and I guess Poppy used as a split pusher these days, Lon?
She can, but no, she's more of a team fighter.
So it doesn't really strike me as one that's able to push lanes very...
super effectively?
Yeah.
No. I mean, the Sunfire Cape helps.
Bottom lane, hang on, we've got an engage going on now. Neon almost got himself away, but Greggy was there to drop a casket in front of his face and knock him back. And in fact, the French import took down the ADC, while GGN in combo with the Karma took down the Braum. So very, very dominant situation here in the bottom lane for the red team, and Halal Snackpack now getting their first damage on the secondary turret down in the bottom lane.
What's concerning me about this game is Winx are having moments, right? They're having moments where they're doing extremely well. But it's all reactive. Just like we saw here.
Well, this might be it. French import has eaten a javelin. He gets himself away and pops the ulti. But the blue team have effectively stopped the siege on the turret. It's taken a huge amount of damage. It's got about 1/8 remaining there. In the meantime, in that mid lane, the mid lane turret has been taken down also by Halal Snackpack. So across the board right now, Lon, with 3 turrets down, the map is in the hands of Halal Snackpack.
Absolutely. It very, very much Blue D needs to step things up, needs to start making decisions. Again, they're just completely reacting. Even just then, when they forced Halal Snackpack out of bot lane, I assumed they were going to rotate on a dragon with it spawning. But no, they just backed right off, and Halal Snackpack just took it uncontested.
Of course, that's Halal's second dragon of the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, Winx even had a slow push going top lane. You can see the minions, crashing now against the tower. So that would have been something to keep the focus from Halal Snackpack while they could have taken the dragon. They need to be a little more proactive. They're winning skirmishes, not all of them, but they are winning skirmishes. But Winx absolutely need to start. I'm not saying go crazy, but make a decision. You need to start taking some towers. You can't wait for Cassidy to just scale up. It's not going to work out.
No, and I think if you look at the various places of power or sources of power for these for the two teams, if you consider that the blue team's main strength is going to be in skirmishes and picks, well, that means that Halal Snackpack, they need to lose this match rather, in order to let the blue team in, rather than the blue team having any other real capability to win, because they don't have strength in the lanes, they don't have strength just in terms of overall map control. They haven't been demonstrating strength in terms of their map visibility. And of course, in an overall team fight, just the fact that there is a 70 CS difference between those two ADCs just says to me that in the team fights, they're going to be pretty one-sided.
Yeah, that is a concern. That's even another worry. So those towers, they haven't taken a single outer tower yet, Winx. They need to take them, one, for because that's gold. That's gold. It's right there for the taking. And two, if they are to create picks, it's very, very difficult, particularly with that mid tower up. It means there's always somewhere for Halal Snackpack to flee back to if they need to. The map's not open enough, doesn't give you enough room to work to create as many options in terms of creating picks. Look, Poppy scales extremely well. Sivir scales okay just because of what she brings to a team in a team fight. Kassadin scales well, but I just don't think it's going to matter. I think the snowball's already begun. I think Lucian is going to be way too powerful in comparison to Sivir. And Zed has a lot of long swords in that build.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with swords. In fact, every single one of his items,
items builds from long swords,
is a sword of some sort.
Yep. But even the stuff that isn't the long sword, the Hex Drinker builds out of long swords. The Ghostblade has at least 2 long swords in it. The Warhammer there, Caulfield's Warhammer, that's 2 long swords. It's just so many long swords.
All right, 7-4 is the kill situation. 26 minutes have gone by, and we're getting to the point where the question that we're asking is, how long will it take for Halal Snackpack to win this game, rather than who is going to win? The gold lead has extended to 5,000 in their favor. So playing from behind with very little in their toolkits to get them back in, but a hope that their opponents will make some mistakes. Winx have a very hard road to travel if they are going to be able to get back into this game. And it's... Look, we've had some skirmishes, Lon, here and there in the lanes as we've been going through the team situation. But, man, this game has felt very, very quiet, slow and methodical from Halal Snackpack.
It has been somewhat. The only thing that really
Tsukiyomi might go down. Yeah, it might be one of those mistakes. Sorry to jump in over there.
No.
He's
go.
Trying to tank the turret as he gets away. He's got his team in support, and he may have actually played the bait. He's getting knocked around. He's still alive as the damage goes down. We've got our first kill going down. Kassadin comes through, but the reply is coming through. The double kill going down onto the Lucian now, and underneath the turret goes Halal Snackpack. The Fizz picking up his own double over there, and the ace getting earned, and the bottom lane is going to be dismantled by Halal Snackpack. Just the Zed who played the ultimate bait there, Lonjanis, and did an excellent job of it.
Absolutely. It's pretty clear to me that Tsukiyomi's feeling he's riding high at the moment. He doesn't feel like he has a lot to fear. And he's certainly playing like it. Just very, very good, very, very good use of those Z mechanics. And just, look, being way ahead doesn't hurt either.
No, it doesn't. And what I like about that little move that he did there was he kind of played the reverse assassin. He baited the team knowing that their team fight was that much better. And the chase that was on from the blue team meant that they arrived in that bottom lane in fits and starts, in bits and pieces, or rats and mice, whichever way you want to put it.
The point is, it was staggered. It wasn't all simultaneous.
Exactly. And there was a death trap waiting for them there.
Not to mention, without the Sivir and her, on the hunt ultimate, which she's gonna be forced to use momentarily, I think. Without the on the hunt ultimate, the team fight suddenly is way harder to win. She's such a strong team fighting champion, particularly for an AD carry. I mean, she's got AoE crits. She's got bouncing crits. Like, I mean, come on. But so if you're going to 5v5, very important that Sivir doesn't get caught first.
And talking of 5v5s, there won't be one for at least a minute because the Sivir got taken down there. You heard on the hunt getting called out, and that was because Zed was hunting her down and finished her off, clearing her off there. And we've had that first turret go down for the blue team. They've picked up the top lane. But in the Baron pit, we've got a Baz Kebab getting wrapped right now for Halal Snackpack. And they take it down easily, get themselves out there. We're going to have an exit kill, though. The Sacrificial Lamb getting taken down. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we're going to have the second Hinib getting taken down by Chazadup. He didn't even need to be there for the Baron fight, Lon. That is how far ahead they are.
Yes, absolutely. Now, that was some good play by Chaz. If you realize you have these advantages and you realize you have space to work with, why not do it? Just create the space. If your team can take Baron without you and there's no threat from the other team, great, go take an inhibitor. Also, I just want to just take a moment to just point out, you just said a Baron kebab for Halal Snackpack, and I just want to applaud you. That's just just quality. I just very happy with that Chrisis. Honestly, that's hysterical.
Thanks, dude. Meanwhile, we've had Dragon number 3 going down to Halal Snackpack, and I've got to say, they are so far ahead. They could just group in mid and win. Is the situation that they are in. But they are being super disciplined. They're making sure that they are eking out every single advantage that they can. They've had the Rift Herald. They've taken the first Baron. They've got 3 dragons. And all this while taking down 2 inhibitors as well. So they are
They want everything on the map.
Chance.
Yeah, they want everything on the map.
Top lane is where the action is. It's action around a turret, though. A bit of PvE being played by Halal Snackpack, taking that down. Baron empowered minions coming through the siege straight away. It's not even much of a siege. They get in
this may be the
and
last stand,
exchange a huge amount of damage. But they're being driven off. And Lon, Shoutcaster's Curse there could be the last fight, and it turned out to be an effective clear by the blue team.
Still, nevertheless,
you can,
those double inhibitors down, though, means that Winx have to split, which once they do, as you can see, there's no reason Halal Snack can't just engage and win the game. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, they haven't even split, and Halal Snackpack take down their top lane turret. The engage is on now. Very low HP. Thank God for Zonya's is what's getting said in the chat for the red team, but it's not enough. They managed to survive the arrival. Sorry, it's not that it's not enough. It is exactly enough. Got my brain twisted there just for a moment, and they survived that team fight by the skin of their teeth, Lon.
It's true, but they did lose a Nexus Tower.
So, yeah, I was, in fact, that reminds me, I was just saying, they didn't even split off. So the Sivir was kind of thinking about going down to that bottom lane to clear minions out, but didn't have a chance to do so because of the engage that came through from Halal Snackpack. So bottom lane, we've got the inhib that spawned, so a little bit of a relief there. Meanwhile, Dalsu capitalizing on that mistake that they have been looking for, taking down the Lucian. The reply that comes through for the Zed is
instantaneous,
and he manages to get away as well. So no real advantage there that's going to come out of that pick because the Zed, of course, well, he is a good split pusher, so he's going to keep their attention in that top lane while the Fizz down the bottom lane. He was trying to get a push on himself, but he's heading on back now to clear out those minions.
And let's not forget, with the gold the way it is, even as the game progresses and gold leads begin to mean less and less, but with the gold the way it is and the open inhibitors the way they are, even numbers are not good. Is not good odds for Winx right now. They absolutely needed Caston to get out with that pick. It would have been huge for them. But unfortunately, they can't do that.
Yeah, so they will have 10 seconds before he arrives, which means that the red team, nice and confident, head on in there, pop a little bit of damage down onto that inhib, and then back themselves out there. Meanwhile, Zed is saying, thanks for the space, guys. I will get my own damage down onto the top inhib. So very, very difficult situation right now for the blue team, fighting on two fronts as Unwish gets in there engaged. A lot of damage going down onto the Graggy, but he is super, super tanky. Earth is going to get called. The Chumber Waters gets just one champion though, and now the counter attack going through on the hunt call. Chazadup has been stunned, but in the mid lane, that inhib didn't actually get, hasn't respawned yet, but the top lane inhib taken down. Bottom lane inhib will be their next target, I think, Lon, and then we'll have all three down and masses of super minions arriving.
I think that was, I think that fight was the right decision from Winx. They had to make a call. It was they had to engage on something, otherwise they were just going to get run around until they lost an inhibitor. Now, granted, they lost the inhibitor anyway, but at least they got something out of it. Unfortunately, they then followed that up by losing the bottom inhibitor, which just spawned. But still, I like that they were being a bit more decisive. I think I'm still slightly ahead of you, so watch for feed like MSG and the Zonyas over the next few seconds.
All right. There it is. It comes through while he was trying to clear a ward, so just a little bit of a misclick over there as they get that ward down in the end, so they'll be happy about that. Karma slows them down for the red team's escape. Mid lane inhib is up, so a little bit of a respite there, and we can see with 50 seconds to go, Snackpack, Halal Snackpack, looking to recharge themselves with the Baron buff pretty soon. Oh, actually, the blue team heading on up. And Winx might be thinking, well, let's anticipate this, and they have. They've got a pick. Feed like MSG picks up the Lucian. He's taking him down. That's important. They've taken the Zed down as well. So a double kill in exchange for nothing. And they finally have an opportunity to eke out not so much an advantage, Lonjanis, but maybe a little bit of relief.
They have to be very careful. They're going to want to go for the Baron, and they are going for the Baron. But they could lose their entire base off of this. Unwish has been left behind to defend the Nexus. He's not even going to try and defend the inhibitors. Here's Gragas.
Yeah, so the Graggy is up as Winx now look to get themselves a Baz Kebab for their lunch. It's been a little bit of a delay for the day, so no surprises. But, oh, Gragas arrives! Jin XP! Jin 15, if you want to call him that, with the Baron steal, and things are not going to go the way of Winx at all, are they?
I think, that steal may have been the final nail.
Yeah.
I really got to give it for Winx when they finally did decide to start making plays and start, doing things. They've done quite a good job. It just took them a really long time to warm up and get rolling, and they lost so much ground in that time.
Chazadup with a great play against three champions, picks up the double kill, but Delsu is there to spoil his exit. He tried everything that he could, got the flash going and all of that sort of thing, but couldn't get away from the Supreme Chaser.
Sometimes you just can't. Cassidon's very hard to deal with in that case. Oh, lordy.
So, in the meantime, Super Minions doing the business right down. Surely this Nexus turret is going to go down. It does, in fact, and the champions have arrived as well as IOSYS gets into the thick of things, looking for the root there. Unwish right now, depending on all of that damage mitigation to keep in the midst there, but he's going to get taken out as the Nexus itself gets collapsed as well. 38 minutes is what it took, and with a kill advantage of 18 over 14, Halal Snackpack take out the first quarterfinal.
They hit their stride much faster, Halal Snackpack, that game. They were making plays, they were pressuring turrets a lot earlier, which again, when you have an advantage of 3 turrets or more, it gets easier. The game buffs your side. It gets easier to take more turrets. So I just feel like that Winx were just playing too much of a reserved game. Which look, there are teams that can make it work, but their team comp didn't really facilitate that. And also, it's just doesn't. The meta game right now is very aggressive in terms of map plays, and they just didn't play to the meta, and they got punished for it. In terms of the way to play the map, their champion picks were extremely meta.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the execution of Halal Snackpack just overcoming them from the
Oh
get-go.
yeah, absolutely. Halal Snackpack way more proactive. Felt like they had a plan a lot earlier. Um, really good play from them in general. It definitely felt more cohesive. Yes.
So we need to pick an MVP. Now, if you are new to GameStar streams, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be unfamiliar with what we do. Yeah, we pick an MVP after every single match, and that MVP comes away with, or goes into the draw to win a Plantronics headset, thanks to our MVP sponsor, Plantronics Gaming. It's a Rig 500 HD, I believe. And there are a couple of consolation MVP prizes as well. If you don't get the Rig HD, you might be in for a $20 credit, Riot Points credit. So we need to pick an MVP for the Plantronics draw. That'll be happening in June. So it's done on a quarterly basis at the moment. Lon, who would you pick as an MVP out of today's match?
I absolutely hate having to do this. No, I'm glad that it's happening. I'm really glad the players get a chance. A little something extra. But it's just so difficult, man. Honestly, this might sound crazy considering everything that was happening this game. But my MVP was probably IOSYS. Or IOSYS.
IOSYS, the Karma. And, well, look, in the bottom lane, things were very, very one-sided for most of it. I think a lot had to do with melee versus range, more than anything else, or short range versus long range.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But just, I really feel like, absolutely true. The lane matchup was a little tricky. But even then, it depends on how you play it. And I think IOSYS was there was always the right places, the right times, kept good ward coverage, and just generally allowed French Import to do whatever the hell he wanted and get away with it for the most part. So that's why I'm saying IOSYS for my MVP choice.
All right, well, I'm happy to go with that way. So congratulations to IOSYS for picking up our first MVP award winner today. And of course, it doesn't mean that you actually get the $20 credit or the Rig HD at the moment. You go into the draw to win one or other of those.
We wish it did.
We wish it did, but no, it doesn't. And so, we're doing the MVP program. The Rig HD is available out of our pilot, which is for the first 3 months. But Plantronics have said to us, if things go well with the MVP award, they'll be moving it up to a monthly award. So every month we'll be giving away a Rig HD.
It's the Rig HD. Okay, I had a bit of I didn't understand what you called the headset for a second just because of your accent. No offense. I'm actually using that headset. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I got a Rig HD. It's a little weird to have the thing that sits on your desk. You know what I'm talking about? It comes with the rig bit, but it's a really good headset overall.
All right. Well, we will be back in just a couple of minutes, hopefully with a semi-final match, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for Halal Snackpack versus Winx Club. This is Chrisis and Lonjanis signing out.